Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime seems like it's the biggest, highest rated performance since 2018. Kendrick did great last year, but Bad Bunny actually did better than Kendrick. So congrats to Bad Bunny. I didn't know what to think of. I didn't know exactly what he was going to do. I figured he was going to have like a bunch of co-stars, but he had some people join him on stage. But for the most part, it's the visuals that's fantastic. Now, listen, I'm not going to pretend that I know all Bad Bunny songs. I'm not going to pretend that I know Spanish. I do not. The one thing that I admire about Latin culture is reggaeton, just because you could use the same reggaeton beat that I've heard on Gasolina 20-some odd years ago, and you can still have hits using that same beat. So because you can't do that in hip-hop R&B. You can't take a beat consistently for 20 years ago and still use it. So shout out to Latin folks, man, who can recycle every reggaeton beat. But overall, visually, that thing was great. Like, he turned the Super Bowl field into Puerto Rico. Because when it was setting up, I was like, man, are there a bunch of trees? But then I was like, is that tree moving? So he had people in these trees, which was great because it makes it easier when he went back from the end of the Super Bowl back to the game, the trees just run off the field. So it looked like it could have been something major. It could have been a major problem that would delay the game, but since they were moving trees, the people in them, it made it easier for everybody to get off the stage fast. But man, it's just fantastic. His performance kind of reminded me, because I think moving forward, Bad Bunny has changed the game when it comes to performances at the Super Bowl. Kendrick kind of did it last year. Okay, he kind of brought a little bit of Los Angeles to the Super Bowl field. So he kind of did it last year. But Bad Bunny kind of took a step further. It kind of reminded me when Kanye West was on SNL back in 2010, and he did Runaway. And he totally changed the background. And then from that point on, after he did that, other artists said, man, we can do this. We can actually change the background for our performances on SNL. Bad Bunny's done the same thing with his recreating Puerto Rico on an NFL field. It's interesting because you had that one situation on the porch, and you had Pedro Pascal and Karol G and Cardi B and Jessica Alba. Jessica Alba was there. I fully embrace Jessica Alba embracing her Latina self. Because if we go back to the Dark Angel Jessica Alba and the Honey Jessica Alba, she was doing that Paula Abdul thing where you quite weren't sure what she was. It's like, she looks like a Latina, but her last name is Alba. Wait, what is she? But she would never say. Now she's a full-fledged Latina. Even though she hasn't divorced yet. Her and Cash Warren, they filed for divorce back in 2024, and they're not divorced. So if you know Jessica Alba, go shoot your shot. Because she's still a married lady, but in this divorce. So shout out to Jessica Alba. But I'll be honest. Like, I was watching the performance, and it was cool. Like, it was very visually stunning. A lot of pretty Latinas. Like, I heard some reggaeton, like some of that stuff. But then all of a sudden, I see Lady Gaga, and she was doing Die of a Smile. And unfortunately, her and Bruno has not done Die of a Smile enough. They've done it in spot dates, so we never seen Bruno and Gaga actually do it like on a national level. But her doing Die of a Smile without Bruno, the salsa version, was amazing. She was a little bit offbeat because I think it was hard to hear. But man, it's like, man, I really want that salsa version. I actually want her to go in the studio and cut that herself. And in fact, I actually want Gaga to make a salsa album. Like, the one thing I always enjoyed about her is that she's not afraid to do different things. So she's doing dance, work with Tony Bennett. And I don't think she's done a Latin album. So it'd be amazing if Lady Gaga did a salsa album. But yeah, so I was happy to hear Die of a Smile, which is up to 1.5 billion views on YouTube. I remember when that thing came out back in August of 2024, and I was telling people this song is great, and some people said, it's all right. It's like, what do you mean? Die of a Smile is amazing. So yeah, so I enjoyed seeing Gaga. Ricky Martin popped up. Ricky Martin should have done the Super Bowl. The NFL dropped the ball. If they wanted an English-speaking Latin person to do a great Super Bowl, they had a chance with Ricky Martin back in the 2000s, and they dropped the ball. Ricky Martin is one of the best Latin performers ever when it comes to like worldwide performances, World Cup stuff. He was fantastic, and the NFL dropped the ball on that. It's just, I admire what Bad Bunny actually done. Like, it was just, he did the thing with the polls, talking about the problems of electricity in Puerto Rico. He was making political statements without making political statements, which is kind of, he's not really wasn't saying it. He was just showing it visually. He did the Spike Lee trolley thing that we haven't seen anymore, where he's just floating around like this. Spike Lee. People moving without walking. It's just so fantastic. I love Spike so much. Bad Bunny did the whole trolley thing. It was fantastic, man. It was a good performance. Now, again, I'm not going to pretend that I know his music. I'm not going to sit here and pretend, oh, yeah, I'm the biggest Bad Bunny fan. I'm not. Only thing I know is he's been around for a long time. He's won the Album of the Year this year. He's the most streamed artist in the world. It's not Taylor Swift. Like, Bad Bunny is the most streamed artist in the world. And again, just because I don't know Spanish doesn't mean the rest of the world doesn't. And I think the NFL, this is a long-term thing for them. Like, the NFL, they've had games in Latin countries before, but I think because of this situation, the Bad Bunny actually probably opened up the NFL to a lot of people who maybe doesn't watch the NFL. I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL will start having games in different Latin countries. They're still down. They're doing the European thing, but I think Latin is the next stop of the NFL bringing the league into Latin culture. So I think it was twofold, right? Bad Bunny is the biggest artist in the world. And if it works, introduce you to a bigger audience. So I think the NFL, long term, I think this Bad Bunny performance is more than just a performance. It's just introducing more people to the National Football League. So shout out to the NFL for taking that shot. Plus, I think it was against Trump too, like, you know, Trump and ICE and all that stuff. I think there was a method to their madness. I mean, Jay-Z put this together, so I think they made a political statement about this. They say they didn't, but I think they did. So overall, from a visual standpoint, Bad Bunny's performance was visually stimulating. It was fantastic. And I say, man, only thing I could do is just get some Latinas dancing, and some of these dudes that's complaining will stop complaining. And it's true. Some dudes still didn't like the performance, but they probably saw some Latinas and then stop. It's like, I hate Bad. Ooh, look at her. Guys are so simple. So overall, even though I don't know a lot of his music, and I do not, it's visually stunning. But that's the power of music. Sometimes we don't have to hear the language, but if something is visually stunning, you can kind of tell what they're trying to say. So shout out to Bad Bunny. It's interesting if they have another Latin artist down the road, and so I'm not sure who. I think like Shakira was up there with Jennifer Lopez, so they did that. I think you got Karol G flown out there. Yeah, I mean you got other Latin artists, but I don't think they pack the same punch as Bad Bunny. I think they're very popular Latin artists out there, but as far as like as big as Bad Bunny, I don't think the NFL will go down that road unless they start packaging artists together. I think about making another video about what artists they could think about coming next, because it's hard. Like, I think Bad Bunny is the last of an era where you have one single artist who can dominate a Super Bowl halftime. Because during this TikTok generation, during the last 10 years, we don't have a lot of artists who can just dominate. Like, Bruno's already done it, Gaga's done it, Beyonce's done it. Like, a lot of artists that people that could do it with deep catalogs has already done it. And if you start looking around with who got next, they only got a handful of people, like Dua Lipa maybe, Adele maybe. It's not like Katy Perry did it a long time ago. I mean, she's not as popular as she once was. Like, a lot of people have already done it that has a boatload of hits. So Bad Bunny might be the beginning of the end of one person dominating a halftime. But if he is beginning of the end, he did a great job.